And then there's a little chat button at the bottom. If you click on chat, then you guys can put some chats, questions, woohoos, whatever you want to throw into the chat box. Tell us where you're zooming in from.
All right, we're recording.
This is all I want to say. The best part of waking up is being a cup.
Got my shake here. There's a few drops left.
Those are always the best.
They are. And sometimes it comes really slow, but I, just got to wait for it to come all the way out.
Yeah, and those little drops.
After 15 years, I remember Warren released over 100 pounds, and he says, it's bad when you cut your tongue on the blade of the blender.
I have done that. I've done that more than once.
And those little drops, Dave, at the bottom have saved me with my mother-in-law, because she told me to look after a plant for her. And obviously I didn't. And the drops of the shake has actually revived the plant.
You got the telomeres activated in the plant. Good job. Awesome.
We need to fix some of the settings on the thing.
Super business training. We have some special guests on here today. Yeah, let me mute out. Okay, you co-host should be able to unmute yourself, Laura. I'm gonna make you a co-host as well. And
hi.
Okay. Hey. Well, welcome, and thank you, Kathy, for taking the time to be on Saturday. And we're so grateful for you and Jim and Eric and your guys' vision. And it's why we're all gathered here today. How does that feel? I mean, you have people getting on Zooms all over the country, all over the world. And it's around the vision that you guys had started. Has it been 18 years now? 18 years ago.
18 years. Wow.
I've been doing it 15. And that's longer than I was mechanicking now. I've been doing isogenics longer than I was a mechanic.
Wow.
I just can't believe it. It's gone by so fast.
Where'd the time go? Isn't it something?
Yeah, it's been amazing. And when I look back and go through the details and play them out, there's a lot. I mean, it does seem longer when you really go back and think about all of the different ups and downs and the celebrations and the challenges and really go into the details. That does seem like a long time. But then when you just, kind of show up, and I just can't believe it's gone so fast as well. And we're 3 generations in isogenics now in our family.
Oh my goodness, that's so
blessing it's been. Well, we know we have you just for a short time this morning. We're gonna talk with Kathy here for a minute, who's co-founder of Isogenics, and then we're gonna have Dr. Dunsky share his testimony and how it was the single greatest thing that he's brought into his practice. And then we'll have 10-time world champion martial artist, Jerry Fast Feet Fontanez. Did I say it right? Fast Feet Fontanez.
Yeah, you got it.
And just so excited to have him on board and the results that he's seen so quickly, and just to have everybody here. We have such an amazing team, and this is all cross-line. This is open to everybody in Isogenics, and it's a wonderful community that we have. That's really, you set the tone, you and Jim, from the top down, and we just have such an amazing culture. So let's just kind of jump into it. I was thinking about it this morning, Kathy. Jojo and I early on, back in the days when we had tables set up at the Isogenics universities, and it was that intimate, like I remember VH1, Up Close and Personal, where the artists are just right there with a very small crowd. And we were really lucky and blessed to be able to be a part of that culture back then. And where you were, you still share your heart and your vision and where you came from. But I think there was something that I would like to get across today that we felt back then. I wrote down, we have profound personal experiences in life that really create the person that we are and some of the profound things that we can do in life. And yesterday I was reading a book that used the word imprudence. And I thought I knew what imprudence meant, but I wasn't sure. So I just looked it up on the dictionary. In the dictionary, it says imprudence, lacking direction rash acting or tending to act too hastily or without without due consideration. And that's like the opposite of what you are and what I feel like I am today because of the experiences that I've had and the vision that I have that's so clear now. And I would really like you to maybe take some time, if I could just set this up for a second, these profound things that have happened to you in your life and what has really, I believe, framed up along with Jim, and that vision that you have of creating a place that anybody could call home. The networker, yes, because of the personal experiences that you've had. And how those personal experiences really created something profound within you, your philosophy, your perception, your vision and who you are to the core. And how those experiences, maybe sharing a little bit of those experiences that framed up Kathy Coover and who Kathy Coover is today and why Isagenix is Isagenix today, which is truly a legacy company that you could absolutely, I could say this with 100% confidence, you could put all your eggs in this basket and not have to worry. And here we are, like I said, 3 generations into it now, and in my family. And just if you can kind of, go back to that, what happened to you and what were the things that, those experiences that you had that helped you to create a more solid foundation of what you want, who you wanted to be, and what you wanted to be in the world, how you wanted to show up, and then how that was translated into Isagenix.
Well, thank you, Dave, and good morning, everyone. And thank you for your leadership, Dave, and Willie, and JoJo, and everybody. Dr. Josh, it's great to see everybody. Laura on the call. Gosh, well, how long do I have? But I probably just got a little bit of time this morning. So, I've been working on a project. I'm writing a book right now to really share a lot of things that made me what I am today. And it's really amazing when you go back in time and think of all the things that have happened to you and what these things have propelled you to do in the future and what you loved about some of the things, what you didn't like, and how it had you step up. But I'll just talk right now about my journey in network marketing. I started in 1992 with a hope and a dream that I could get out of my profession of being a dental hygienist because I was so burned out. And I started with the company, and I was frontline to the company, one of the master distributors. And that always sounds kind of cool, but it really isn't, because, you have to do everything. I mean, you are the company for the entire field. And, I just think that it was an incredible learning experience for me. And because I had no experience in network marketing, I didn't understand really what it was about. And I just watched what other people did. I watched what other successful people did in this profession, and I modeled it. I tuned into other people's conference calls. I watched kind of marketing materials they had. And remember back then, I don't know if you remember, Dave, but it might be before your time in network marketing, but somebody on the line will remember the audio cassette tape, Dead Doctors Don't Lie. And that was a tape that a company had created. And I thought, wow, this is a great little system, that people could mail out. It would duplicate. People would listen to it. They just want to join. They just wanted to buy the products. And so I realized at that point, after listening to that I needed to start creating tools for my team and really help propel them so that the business would duplicate, because I was not duplicatable. People couldn't do what I said. They'd see me speaking and they'd say, I can't do it like she does. I can't explain the products, because I had a background in health, and so I had a lot of knowledge there. So I created the tapes, the systems, the trainings, all those things. And back then, Dave, I think about it, we had audio cassette tapes to start. Then we had a fax on demand. That was our training system that people would plug in to listen to module on the products and the business, plus fee to learn about the company, all the different things, how we did it way back then. That was 28 years ago. And how we've evolved. But those lessons really prepared me for Isagenix. To realize that when we launch this company, we really need to create systems and tools for the people to make it easier for them, because it took a tremendous amount of effort on my part to create those. with alongside building an organization. And so when we launched Isagenix, I said, we need to have tools and we need to have things for our associates just to plug into so they can do what they're great at, and that's sharing the story. So that was a big aha for my first build. My second build was really, it was really learning what was right and what was wrong with regulations, and what you could do and what you couldn't do, what you could say and what you couldn't say. And that experience really taught me how important it is to, say the right things about the products, not to make claims, to say the right things about this profession and not make outlandish claims. It taught me, how to listen to your attorneys and to do what they say, because that company got shut down by the FTC. And I was on the biggest run of my life that I have never experienced. It was something. And so that taught me a huge lesson for Isagenix, that we really needed to create, teach our people, compliance and all the things, because, some people do make an extraordinary amount of money in this industry, and some people just make a small amount. It just depends where you want to be, and it is a real business, and you need to treat it like a business. And so that taught me that. And then my third build, I think the biggest thing was that I was with the travel program, and the travel program, I realized that, when September 11th hit, that it wasn't the best industry to be in, that it was fluctuating, and that you really needed to have a consumable product that people get emotionally attached to and can't stop talking about. And all those lessons, a lot of those lessons, prepared us, and then really how to treat the associates and how to respect the field and how to appreciate them in all three of the builds was really important. The company was nothing without its people and its leadership, and pouring and investing into the field is so important to the success of the organism and the strength of the whole team and the culture. It's so important. And that's why we keep pouring into our field right now. That's why we keep enhancing so many new things. And I've also learned that in time, things change very, very rapidly. So many things change so rapidly. I mean, just think, Dave, when we started 18 years ago, we didn't have the iPhone then. We didn't have all the technology, all the tools. And now where we are, it is this app, that app. And so it really taught us that you have to evolve, that you can't be left behind. And so that's what we're doing right now. We are reinventing Isagenix. And you will see this coming to play in July when we have our July 17th and 18th event online. And you'll see a lot of the new branding that I really believe that you're going to say, that's Isagenix. And we've worked with so many consultants. Millions and millions of dollars for experts to come in and tell us. And what they would say is we share what we felt Isagenix was, and they said, what really doesn't portray it in your website, doesn't portray it in the language. So that's why we're reinventing, and Eric's really leading the charge on that. And it's just brilliant what's happening right now. It's so exciting. And the first time I saw it, I said, that's Isagenix. And everybody thought the same thing. So you're going to see some great changes coming through. You're going to see a new look. We are upgrading our website right now. You'll see some of this new things coming in, but at the same time, we're building a new platform. So we can't, you can't let the old one go, but you got to build this other one in, and at the same time. But you'll see some of those things coming through in July. You're going to see new enhancements to our products that, in 18 years, let's face it, technology changes. Education and what we need to consume in our body changes, just from education. And so you're going to see a lot of new, incredible enhancements coming in that I know you're going to be so proud, and we're going to be the first to have these, which is so exciting. It's always great to be first in the marketplace. So that's coming too. We're going to see new changes in technology that are very, very exciting, that I can't wait for you to see. You're going to have something will be like a little robot in your back office that I'm so excited about. that will help be a good tool for you to help manage your business. Because let's face it, Dave, think how many people have come into your organization over the 15 years. And what if you could reach in and find those people and have a tool to go back to them that would help manage your organization? Wouldn't that be a huge asset to you?
Absolutely.
So that's coming. And that's all because of, you know, all the new technologies out there. So it's so exciting right now for us. I mean, our team is working around the clock, and plus the acquisition of ZJ, bringing those people into our community. You'll see some new products come in. You've probably seen the Super Mix. It is, I was resistant to try it, I have to say, but I have fallen in love with that product, the Moringa product. I pour that in and I put my greens in and drink it first thing in the morning, and you'll notice the lift in your energy, your focus, your mood, everything, your skin. It's phenomenal. So you're going to see a lot of that coming in. You're going to see the merging of great cultures that, you know, our culture is, I think, one of our best assets is our community. It's the way we think. It's the way we talk. It's the way we believe. It's the way how we pour into people. You're going to see that evolve with new methods. You're going to see Isogenics 2.0 come into provision. You're going to see like what's happening right now. I mean, everything is online. That is Isogenics 2.0. That is part of it. That's part of the evolution. I mean, it was mind-boggling last Saturday that we had over 20,000 people on the Academy on a Saturday. Where else could we do that? We couldn't have got those people in a room. So, you know, we're changing with the time, and this evolution is just going to help you all take your business to the next level. I talked to so many leaders from other companies, and their company didn't change. It didn't evolve, and they're not there anymore. And so that's what we need to do this. So be patient with us, be open to new ways of doing things, embrace what we're bringing forward. At first I thought, wow. And then I thought, wow, I love it. So, you know, change causes growth. Change is inevitable. And so I'm really excited about the future and what it holds. And, you know, our goal to be trusted and respected is definitely on the very foremost part. And we're trying to find new ways to pay you too. And we're always looking at that, Dave. You know, I think really this manager pool has been a real blessing for people right now. I can't tell you, I've called out so many families and say you earned $1,000 in the manager pool, and they broke down in tears. That $1,000 was going to pay for their mortgage, their car payment, all those things. So we have so much, and this new leadership in action formula that will guide us in our promotions really is easy. We want things to be simple. We're simplifying things. You're going to see some of our products go away because they just didn't hit the mark, and we're going to be upgrading some other ones. So, but we'll let you know, but there'll be a replacement for some of these things. We have some exciting replacements coming and some new enhancements too. So I've never been so excited about our future. I see more and more people joining. It's unbelievable, Dave, right now what's happening. Our recruiting has doubled, and that's a key indicator that sales will go up. It's very exciting to see that. I think that this new wave that will happen will bring new leadership into our company. I think people realize more now than ever that we need to have a side business, an additional income stream. Everybody needs that. And sometimes we just need a wake-up call, I think. And so I think the new leaders will be emerging from your team, from Willie's team, from all of your teams. And, you know, I remember back in 2008, 2009, and I think about that. And that's when Herb and Patty came in. That's when you really got your stride. That's when Lynn and Michael and Lisa came in. That's when a lot of the people really stepped up. You know, Laura Stevens, all those people started emerging. So you're going to see a new influx of leadership in your team, and embrace those leaders, train them, and really show them the way, because I truly believe this next decade is going to be our biggest decade ever, that people will be joining us from so many other companies too, because we are trusted and respected, and we get the results like no one else gets. Our 100-pound club, just keeps growing. Our IsoBody challenge keeps growing. more and more 6- and 7-figure earners. We just broke another great couple from Australia, and oh my gosh, I talked to them, and they live in a bus, and they travel all over Australia with their 2 small children in this van. And I asked them, how did you build in this van? They said, oh, we meet a whole new community of people that live in buses, and they travel all over the world, and they homeschool their children. So it's really amazing how resourceful people are right now, and all the new people coming to us. So I've never been so excited, Dave, about our future. Excited. I know deep in my heart, we have the best leaders in this company. You know, I see them all the time, and that's what I'm really proud about. And that's what makes me so excited about the future.
Yeah, I just wow to all of that. You know, you feel like you can't get more excited, but it's always, there's something to get more excited about. And what I wrote down as you were talking, that you are the example of being somebody who's very, very grateful, like profoundly grateful, but never satisfied. You are like never satisfied. You're always wanting to push to that next level, to that next level. And that's why I believe that we are on that cutting edge. And was it last week was the biggest week in a year? Didn't we have the biggest week last week?
Yes, last week.
I mean, you think about this challenging time that we're in, and out of respect and empathy for people out there that are really, we're not firing anybody. We're still hiring. And, you know, what an incredible message of hope and you know, just giving people that hope that will get them to kind of wake up and get back engaged in life instead of waiting to see what's going to happen to them. And that's just because it comes top down, like I was saying. Just in closing, we have so many models and missions, you know, in Isogenics. We come up with our own phrases, and then we have the company models and missions. And one that I really appreciated early on that you're so passionate about was creating more 6- and 7-figure income earners. And in that mission statement, it also said to create the healthiest people on the planet. And as a result, create more 6- and 7-figure income earners. And a lot of us, I think that we attract, you know, the people who feel the same as us. And we want to add that value. We don't have any problem with making money as long as we can add value to people's lives while we're making that money. And so that mission statement that we'd used back then, I still use that and add it to the most trusted and respected company, you know, on the planet. But that's really been your passion, is to create more 6- and 7-figure income earners. And that means there's a lot of people who are making their mortgage payments, that are making their car payments, those people that are just getting started out. And with the upfront money right now, somebody could really replace a full-time income with the upfront money. Would you agree right now, while they're building that residual off the 6%?
Oh, absolutely. That's why we did it, Dave. You know, back in the recession in 2009, we thought, how are we going to pay our people more money? So we started adding some, you know, promotional money to pay people quickly, because we know that a lot of people go through challenges in their life. They lose their job or whatever it is, and they have to replace it quickly. And as you know, it takes time to build that back in repeat income that keeps coming into the company. It just takes time to get the people the auto-ship. So we created that great money, and it has changed everything for Isogenics. I mean, you can show people, I just got a text last night from someone that went all the way up and received every bonus there was, you know, in 2 months' time, and it was unbelievable. So that money is there for you. And I think it's imperative that you show your people that ladder, that you show them the double PIBs, that you show them, you know, a consultant bonus, the crystal consultant bonus, the manager bonus, all those, the director, executive, that you have to embed that, you know, in your culture, because that's what people need, really do, to validate. They have to validate their time and energy. And I really think those little wins going up the ladder really, you know, make people empowered. And it's really set Isogenics on fire. And we just keep adding to that too, which is really, really great. I'm excited. And we're always looking for new ways, because the gig economy, let's face it, has, you know, created some competition for us. So we need to be always evolving and changing. So we're looking for new ways too, but we have the perfect one right now. I really think that we have helping that new person, that manager bonus, that director bonus, and then the executive lifestyle bonus, staying paid as executive, is huge for people. And the $750 a month, oh my gosh, that is unbelievable. And, you know, we thought and mastermind and dug and looked, and we said, this is it. And so that's the way it is. And that will run all the way to January. And I'm sure it will be continued to the next year. And we always do things, if it gets results, we do it. And as you said, my goal is to create more 6- and 7-figure earners. And the reason that I have that goal is because in my builds in network marketing, many times people didn't make the money that they wanted to. And it was very hard on me, and I'm sure it's hard on you, because you want your people to succeed so bad. They're your family, they're your team. And so, you know, I really believe that health is wealth. So that's why we set that goal, and we'll continue with that goal. And we're seeing it every single day. We're seeing new people emerge, you know, and it is a business, and you got to work it. But I'll tell you, Dave, I've never in my life felt it was work. I felt that it was fun. It was so much fun.
It is. It's very rewarding.
And thank you for all you do. I know you're going to have a great event. I know you guys are going to rock it here. I wish I could listen to the whole thing, but I have a commitment this morning. But thanks again.
Thank you for being on, Kathy. We really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule and
oh,
sharing your part.
absolutely.
So,
I want to take
all right, everybody, let's send Kathy off with a nice blower kiss, and I'm going to unmute everybody actually so that they can just say bye to you, Kathy, and
Bye,
share.
Kathy. Thank you.
Bye, Kathy.
Kathy, thank you.
Kathy.
So grateful.
so much, Kathy.
Bye.
Kathy, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Amazing.
Have fun.
Thank you, Kathy.
Bye.
So much. Blessings and gratitude. It's a sonic.
Thank
you so much, Kathy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, well, there you got it, right from one of the owners of the company. I mean, that's just a heart that just keeps giving and giving, so full of love. You know, she's very, very grateful, very, very passionate, very, very loving, very, very hardworking, but she's never satisfied. Have you noticed that? And I think, you know, that's how all of us are in our own way, that we're not satisfied. That's why we're here this morning. We want to learn that next thing that's going to help take us to the next level. And I just love how she said, you know, she was open to learning. What she said about her success was watching other people and listening to the audios. That's the same thing I did. You know, listening to the audios, watching what other people were doing, getting involved in their trainings, getting on their phone calls. But not just to listen and to be motivated, but to implement what they were implementing. That's such a key thing. And I just saw that Carrie's on here. Hey, Carrie. I want to make you a co-host. Carrie, you know, you were right there. You know, you're the reason I'm in Isogenics, and you were right there. We were by each other's side the whole time. And you got to see the heart of Isogenics too as well. And what everybody else just got to see a little glimpse of that's, you know, maybe new here. Anything you want to share about, you know, that experience?
Just, you know, after listening to Kathy this morning, I feel like I always remember how much I love this company, but there's times when it just like gives you an extra little pinch. And I just felt all of the last 15 years and all of the things that Isogenics has done and all of the confirmations that I personally have received, that Isogenics is home. I felt, you know, especially since 2009, when she was talking about, you know, when the recession hit and so many companies were, you know, laying people off, or they were cutting all the commissions so that everybody could, you know, work together to stay in business. And we went to the Isogenics celebration and they gave everyone a raise. And I was like, wow, I knew that I liked it here, but now I know why I like it here. They are different than anyone else. This company is different than any other company for a lot of reasons, but I think the number one reason is because Lily, I saw in the chat, said Kathy's the heart of Isogenics. Isogenics has a heart. And they're not just going to settle for, status quo. They're going to find a way to rise above everything that goes on in this life. And I just felt so much more at home with every single event that Isogenics has ever had. It's just been more and more of a confirmation of like, oh my goodness, this company is a godsend to not just the MacArthur family, but to anybody who's willing to listen. And so we just, the more that we can open our mouths and we can be the light of hope and share the power of Isogenics with the world. Like, imagine how many people we can call family, and that's just a wonderful place to be. And I get chills every time I think about it, but especially in a little event like this where we have Kathy just reconfirming to us that this company is hands down the place to be. So
yeah, they prove it again and again, not just with their words, but with their actions and also with the results. With the results.
Yeah.
I mean, you just look at how many people have released over 100 pounds. It's over 700 people, and they have their pictures on the wall. And then the millionaires.
The cool thing is we're not a weight loss company, but still, right? It's a health and wellness company. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and 320 millionaires or so now. I was going to ask her what that number is. She just said she just announced a new couple that's millionaires in Australia. So, and I love what Kathy said too, and we're going to transition into Josh here in just a sec, but what she said about they've hired people in them. Like we said, it's not Isogenics, it's when Isogenics gets in you. And if people can get on a website and truly see the spirit of Isogenics and get that in them just by visiting a website, on even in a small incremental degree forward in doing that, it's going to be huge, because that's what it's all about. It's the people who take the serious look and then they get Isogenics in them because they see that it is a place you could let your guard down. You can be vulnerable. You can show up as you are. You don't have to be something that you're not. You don't have to play the games. You don't have to be non-integritous and say things that aren't true. It's just, that's what the spirit of Isogenics is. It's about all of that integrity. And if somebody could catch that vision and the spirit of Isogenics and get it by visiting the website, hold on to your hat, you guys. I mean, like, strap in with a seatbelt, like a 5-point seatbelt, because we really are just getting started. Carrie, that's what your ISA voice is all about, that you started helping people to discover that and then actually get that out and be vulnerable. So any last thing you want to say before we transition here? Good.
No, yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
All right. Well, Josh, I know that you saw something, and you're very passionate as well. It's one of those, again, you're always striving for excellence. You're grateful, but not satisfied. Like, your mind just doesn't stop, right? It's like, how can I make this better? And it's not about you and how can you get ahead in life. It's how can you serve other people better, your patience and the results that they're going to get because they trusted in you. And I know that's how you and Lisa are. You're raising your family up like that. You have an amazing family. And so just have to take a couple minutes here as a professional, and just a testimony of, what Isogenics has meant for you and your practice and your family and your team, your ISA team. And I see some incredible leaders here on your team and what you guys have developed.
Absolutely. And I know, for speaking personally, and I can see some of you also, when Kathy said, this is going to be the biggest decade ever going into this next 10 years, it's going to be incredible. I mean, the innovation, the changes, they're on the cutting edge. So what it has done for us, Dave, I hear you say a lot that, and repeat what I've said, that it's one of the most, one of the biggest decisions and blessings we've put into our business, our practice. Absolutely is. I can't imagine practicing without this program. And I'm coming from a place where we were using good nutrition before. We were using great nutrition before. We had a healthy practice. I started practicing in 99. And in 2011, we brought this on board. It's literally changed what we do, Dave, in every way, shape, and form. We help so many more people outside of our practice because people get better and they feel good and they talk about it. And so, there's so many aspects of this. And of course, it's affected our family in such a blessed way. I have the privilege, I coach other practitioners and business owners, not just practitioners. And, you know, when you talk about survival when times are tough, multiple sources of income, as Kathy said, it should be inherent in every business school and regular school and growing up and part of our culture. But few people have the ability to tap in another stream of income. It's very difficult. You're looking at taking a massive loan out. You're looking at being excellent in your trade. And then you're looking at the economy being able to support that dream. It's so difficult. With this platform, everybody can get started. Every single person can get started by helping themselves get healthier and creating that secondary wealth stream. 2 times, Dave, we were taken out of the picture. And when I say taken out, just like many of you had challenges in life. One was when Jax and Josie were born. It was about 7-8 months after we started Isogenics. We were dealing with, in the NICU, the ICU, the whole story for 4.5 months. But because of the work we put in for 7-8 months before that, by looking at this nutrition and implementing it and watching people share it on their own, and for that matter, our team that we talk about took us through that. So we were focusing on our kids and we still had a revenue source coming in. I was barely in the clinic. I don't know how I was practicing, trying to juggle that and be at the hospital, but Isogenics kept paying us because people kept getting, results on the program and they kept sharing, and we had this cohesive team. So you can, how many of us can step out of what we're doing and still get paid? Not many. And then the second term is what we're going through here. We had to close our clinic for 6 weeks. We just recently reopened because of lack of PPE, and Isogenics was still generating revenue for us. That's just you have to kind of on purpose look the other way, because if you actually look at this, it has everything that everybody needs if they actually are open to taking a look at it. So it's just been a blessing. It's the single best thing that we've done in our practice. It's mandatory in our practice now because of the results that we've seen attached to this. The long-term sustainable results that are not difficult to do. It's seamless. So it's a part of what we preach and what we coach on and what we teach to other people who just want to live a better lifestyle and help share that with others.
Yeah. You've definitely been a blessing to Carrie and myself and our family and our team and to the company. And we're just so grateful for you guys. And I can relate to what you say, when life has its challenges. When I had my motocross accident, for 6 weeks, I was laid up in bed. Like, I didn't get out of bed for 6 weeks, you guys, and the checks kept coming in every week. And we never once thought about money. I guess we should have, I didn't even think to be extra grateful at that time. It was just like clockwork. It just came in. But thinking back now, I'm so incredibly grateful. And this is something we want for everybody, right? This is what drives us, is we want this for more and more people to make it more inclusive. So thank you for that, Josh. And it seems like almost a lifetime ago when Jax and Josie had, that challenge in your family. Those are one of the things when you go back and look and you see how much time has transpired in between that. And now they're playing sports and helping you out on the farm. It's awesome.
So blessed. Blessed. And real quick, just so grateful for you and Carrie and JoJo we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. People wonder how they're going to do this on their own. They're not. We do this as a team. And you guys have been pinnacle structures in thousands and thousands of people's lives, changing their lives for the better. So, this is really a testament to what you have done on here. So thank you to all of you on here.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
Thank
all
you.
Right. Go ahead, JoJo.
It's so funny because over the years, we've all come in and out of our different challenges. And when we talk about how this becomes, our family, right? So we have our blood family, and then we have this amazing secondary family that comes along and has your back through these times. And we 2 years in a row, Vinny and I spent several months in Austin, Texas. We live in Las Vegas, but we were able to go to Austin, Texas. And for any of you guys know who, Vinny's back surgery, I sent Josh an image and I said, what do you think of Vinny's neck? And he said, I don't care what you do, but you better do something now because it's really serious. And, so they said if he would have slipped and fell and fell the wrong way, it could have severed his spinal cord. It was bad. So we had to go, but we were able to not only afford the best doctor we could find, but we were able to go and stay for months and let him recover and do what we needed to do there and not have to worry about it because our family just stepped in where we had to step out for a moment. And it's happened for each one of us, for Josh and Lisa, for Dave, and there's so many of us on here who've had the same experience where we've had to go through that. And, this is something that people don't understand when it's a traditional job and you have to step away. Typically it's not family, it's not support, it's how am I going to pay my bills? And this has created something so much more than we could have ever expected. You don't think about those things coming into this. And so now those are the things we think about on the back end and that we can share with you because we've been able to experience it from a different way. So,
yeah, really well said. I don't know. I'm sure I would survive, but I just couldn't imagine not having you guys at this moment in time right now. Where would I be? Where would Carrie and I be? And if all of you were just somehow disappeared and was never a part of our life, where would we be right now? And it's, again, I'm sure we would survive, but I'm so grateful that I'm more than surviving. We are thriving because of this community, because of Kathy, who was just on here, and because of the team and the culture. And I mean that as one team. Truly, very profound. I woke up twice last night and just things were on my mind. My brain was just going. And I woke up twice just in a state of gratitude and just, praying to God and just saying, I am so grateful. My life is awesome right now. That's, and how many people are out there saying that? I feel like everybody's saying that, but they're not. Reality is a lot of people are doing everything but that. And, here we have Isagenix and, that word imprudence that I talked about earlier, Kathy is the exact opposite. And I would even say Carrie and I and many of you are the exact opposite of imprudence. Lacking direction. Imprudence means lacking direction, taking rash actions, no real consideration, hastily decisions. We're the exact opposite of that because of what we have with Isagenix in this community. I mean, truly, that's powerful to be able to say. And a lot of people hang on to abstractness when it comes to feeling secure, that abstract spiritual side. And that's real, and that's necessary, and it's essential. But it doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't give the enthusiasm. It doesn't give you something to be engaged with on a daily basis that's real and tangible that you can be involved with and engaged in. And we do. It's why I call it a divinely inspired company and why it's literally bringing heaven to earth, because that's a heavenly life. And it's each one of ours own decision on how much we want to be committed to that and how much we want to share that and how much we want to get out of our own way to do that. And, I want to transition. Thank you so much, Dr. Dunsky, and for sharing today and taking the time to be on with us.
Thank you.
I want to transition into somebody who just got started, somebody who's a player in the world, and somebody who I know is going to go to the top in Isagenix because he was already on this crusade. He was just missing these tools that are going to take his mission and his crusade to the next level. And that's Jerry Fast Feet Fontanez. And what an incredible blessing you're going to be to so many people in Isagenix, not just your team, but to so many people in Isagenix because of who you are. And, you partnered up with Dr. J, and what an incredible powerhouse team. And maybe we ought to have Dr. J say something after Jerry does. But Jerry, you can unmute yourself. I made you a co-host. You've been in for, I think, a week now. And, just share what's on your heart and what you've been exposed to so far and your crusade and what your vision is now. What your vision is now because of being introduced to Isogenics.
Well, I'm going to try to keep myself relaxed because I have a tendency of speaking like a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, which is what I am. So I got to take it easy. So I'm going to take it easy right now. Take it easy. So the bottom line is that I've been doing martial arts since April 19th, 1976. And I've been very fortunate to have been, taught up to 1,000 students in a week's time with 6 locations in New York back in 1990s. And as a 54-year-old grandfather, I want to make sure I get a chance to meet Jerry Fontanez IV, because Jerry Fontanez III is going to be 8 years old. And my son listened to me by not having a child when he was 17, like me, or my mother, 17. So he broke that pattern. So I'm saying, man, I got to stay alive. But I don't want to just be alive and then just barely be alive. I want to be active and vibrant because my role model was Jack LaLanne, and he passed, but his wife Lane is still around, so this is my role models. So I started putting myself through a rigorous program that most people just wouldn't do, combining with Wim Hof method of breathing and cold therapy, and Dr. Sebi eating and Dr. Joe Dispenza, just going all over the place for people who produce the results on how to reverse autoimmune deficiency and just saving people's lives. So I've been a bit frustrated, and recently with this madness that's happening, guys, this tragedy that's ongoing, 5 of my close friends in a week's time passed away. And I had no more tears left, because these are people that are like really my family. So it took me 10 days of being depressed. And what saved me was I started doing some of the Facebook Lives, and just going on to history and paying homage to all these people that I really dearly love. And it hurt me and got me upset that most of them killed themselves with a knife and fork. It was suicide. Now, that might not be the case with all of them, but at the time, this is the way I felt. I felt very adamant that they did not follow the protocol that I was sharing with them for the intention of making the best self-defense you can ever have. Your immune system. Your immune system is the most important thing. So I got a phone call from Dr. Jonathan, who I know, says I was a teenager. And I know he's gonna pitch me on something. I'm thinking, okay, I respect you. I'm home, and I know you're not gonna bring me any nonsense because we don't want to waste anybody's time, because time in life wasn't just magazines. That's exactly what happens. When you waste your time, you're wasting your life, right? So I got on a conference call, and it wasn't finished, and I said, I'm in. When I heard this thing called telomeres, I'm like, what? You know about telomeres? People don't know, they have any idea what that is. I don't care who you speak to, a doctor, lawyer, it doesn't matter. Lions, tigers, and bears, it doesn't matter. They don't know what it is. So I'm trying to live as long as humanly possible, knowing that lobsters' telomeres were long, and I'm like, wow. Then it hit me, oh my gosh. As you can see, I have this little protocol called Fast Feast Forever. So he's talking about the Forever Pack. I'm like, Forever Pack? I want to have Fast Feast forever. I want to play baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, dance, whatever it is, but forever. But you need elements of that to make that possible. And I'm like, there's God again with that timing. And for whatever it's worth, on top of that, I see a successful Willie Morris. I'm like, wait a minute, this guy's done 7 figures before in a company that wasn't that easy. And Mr. Dave MacArthur there, getting ready to hit 10, that's 8 figures. Oh my God. So I got the team. Now, just to be fair, if you see Willie's background, he has the logo. I identify with logos. I designed my own logos. And that's a silhouette of me throwing a kick that I used to give away for my fans. And I'm saying that's isogenic. So initially, I already knew the answer. Oh, that's weight loss. I'm not doing that, but I'm going to be cordial. And when I heard the telomeres, I said, oh my God, I can actually help these people easier by taking a drink and 2 pills twice a day instead of going through the regimen that I'm going through that most people, including me, doesn't want to do. I don't want to do it. But I must do it because I must stay alive. And if I'm going to be alive, I'm going to lead by example. I'm 54 years young presently. I can't say that isogenics is the reason why I lost 53 pounds recently, but I can tell you this. Based on my training protocol, I do 50 kicks in a regimen that I'll share with you guys that I call the Fast Feet Forever. Done from my bed. It's really physical therapy to increase flexibility and strengthen the joints around your hips. So what happened with me was I did 50 kicks, and before I met you guys, I did 60. That 60 kick meant that I was hurt for another 2 days. My hips and my glutes, oh my God. And then I got the package a lot faster than I expected. So I signed up last Wednesday evening, or night, I should say, and I had it by Friday. So immediately I cracked it, popped it in. Next day, did my workout. I wasn't sure if I was going to do 60 because I didn't know if I wanted to limp around, for 2 days extra. And I lost count. And I stopped at 75 because I got scared. I was like, oh my God, I did 75. I'm going to be really hurt. The following day, I got up and I went to do my kicks again because I wasn't sore. And I said, wait a minute, but I did them yesterday. Oh my God, I went from 50 to 75 kicks and I'm not sure what's going on here. So I shared that information with, and guys, for whatever it's worth, let me just say, I'm a brutally honest person. I'm not afraid of anybody, so I will not lie. I'm only afraid of my mom. If I do lie, I'm going to get spanked to this very day, so I'm not doing it. So people who know me, they say, if this guy says that, he knows it's true because my values really based on family values. And my mother is still here, vibrant at age soon to be 71, so she's a young lady. And I still respect her. So I cannot hang out with bad people, even if they're relatives. And I cannot lie. And you're here to help people leave the village a better place. And all those values that came way before Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, etc. Dave MacArthur, Willie Morris, JoJo, etc. So I am so excited because honestly, now I can share with people of similar mind. And you guys may relate to this. If you're the smartest person in the room, that may not be a good room. So now I'm happy to say I am not the smartest person in this room. And this virtual reality, because it is a little surreal for me, because for whatever it's worth, against all odds, we're still here. And the sad thing is that most of us now might be the elders, even though we weren't because of what's happening. But we want to stay alive and not just crawl, right? We don't want to be just rolled, oh yeah, I'm alive. No, 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 I'm vibrant, I'm ready to go. Jack LaLanne worked out the day before he passed. He was 93. His wife is 94. So she's doing what he didn't do to the next level. That's what we're supposed to do, lead by example. And that's the whole thing about this. Now I get a chance not to just lead by example, but get the support of other people of similar mind. This village is phenomenal. Guys, when you start doing things to increase your personal growth, you get judged by your so-called relatives. I don't call them family, I call them relatives. Now, if we have a relationship, then those relatives become family, and then since they have blood, it becomes a different bond. But if you're not fortunate enough to have that, then that's a challenge. Well, my baby brother, Anthony, yesterday did me, he brought me a birthday gift, and it was because he didn't like the way I looked on the video with my background. So he got me a green screen. And I contact Willie. He said, Willie, how do you hook up the background? So I learned. And everyone gets excited when they learn. So when people learn that they can live longer, oh my God. So all we have to do, as you guys know, because I'm preaching to the choir, I am the baby. So out of the mouths of babes, you guys are in the right place. And we got a lot of work to do. And it only works if you open your mouth. We're in the people business and we love people. That's the reason we're here. And we get judged all the time, but at the same time, we're not alone. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Dr. Jonathan, and everybody else. Looking forward to someday meeting you all, not just virtually. And I apologize if I spoke too fast. It's not that. I'm a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, baby. So that's what happened. AB, see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Jerry, how many kicks did you wind up doing after 75?
Okay, sorry. Okay. You want to hear it? I'm up to 100, but it's a lie. I still don't believe it. I've done it twice already, every other day, and I doubled my exercise regimen, and I am not walking around like I'm, no, I'm good. I am good, and I'm so excited because today we're gonna have another talk. I should say another presentation, and the people that I'm getting on board for that, are people that I look up to, that I want them to stay alive. I don't want to cry anymore. I'm tired of crying of people dying. This is insane. I mean, nonstop. I'm supposed to be this tough guy. Like every day I go, I'm afraid to turn on Facebook. I'm afraid to turn on Facebook. But anyway, yeah, I doubled that. It's so many things have happened in recent days. It's just, I want to say it's surreal, but it's not surreal because I always believe that the best is yet to come. The best. And let me tell you something, guys, if you don't mind. I am so blessed because for some reason, anytime I get involved with something, I get pulled up to the highest levels. Doesn't matter what it is. And I would have to attribute to that, to God's given, my gifts. And I always say this, I know you guys heard it 1,000 times. Your gift from God is your life. What you do with your life is your gift back. And sometimes we're not giving them giving him a fair exchange here. It's like, what are we giving them? 10% of our true potential? That's what I've done, I believe. Maybe 11. I'm gonna work on that, working on that. And that's the whole thing about it. So here we get a chance to, the last thing I'm gonna say, I promise. Sometimes 1 + 1 could be 2, and 1 + 1 and 1 could be 3. But here we have 1 and 1, that's 11, and 1 and 1. The synergy that's happening right now, that's to be able to explode and help people with an atomic bomb of positivity that hits worldwide. Oh my God, you guys know when you have two people of a similar mind, you create a greater third of mind, as we learned from Napoleon Hill. However, look at how many people here in a synergistic approach and how many people are being representative. I mean, David Long has 335,000 people so far, but that's not enough. That country's not big enough. We're talking about the world. And this is what I'm talking about. I see when I hear exactly people who are true leaders with good intentions, with a real heart, not talking about the hype. Hype does not work long-term. It's temporary. And we're looking at it as longevity. So I love the fact that we got the forever pack because I want to have fast feet forever, baby. Anyway, thank you.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Coach. I'm going to start calling you Coach Jerry. Love it. And, I feel too that this should be a household name already. And I think with you and Jonathan and Willie and everybody else here, that's going to happen a lot faster now. This Bill Andrews said it back when the product was released. This will be a household name and $1 trillion product. So I see that taking on a huge upswing here very quickly. So grateful for you guys. Just real quick, I'm going to jump into just like what are the problems and the solution. I'm not going to really do a presentation, but for those that are guests, I just want to show what the problems and the solutions are real quick, and then we're going to go into the numbers. But just before I do that, I do want to give Dr. Jonathan an opportunity. I know you guys are working towards executive. I think Dr. J is about to hit director and then on to executive, and you're right behind him, Jerry. So Dr. J, I made you a co-host. I don't see you on the screen. Can you unmute yourself, or are you in a place?
Yes, I'm
there you are. You want to share anything?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dave, for allowing me to share a few words. It's funny because I was introduced to this opportunity about 9 months ago, roughly, when Willie introduced a good friend of mine out of New York. At that time, I wasn't open-minded to it because I was doing something else, and just let it go. But the time wasn't right. But when I got a second look at it 10 days ago, it was blown away. I was blown away, actually. I told Willie, I need more information. He connected me to you, Dave. I started looking for more information, went online. And the reason I did that was because, as a physician, I'm a general surgeon by trade. And I'm also know both sides of the medicine. I lived in China for 3 years. So I have a good solid background, both sides. And I'm also a clinical nutritionist too as well. So when I saw about what the telomeres could do and the Nobel Prize I was like, wow, I've never seen any nutritional products or any multi-level company offering something that had the potential of a research quality. So right away, I told Jerry. Jerry and I, we know each other over 30 years. We're training brothers, and we also been business partners in the past. So when Jerry looked at this, Jerry says, hey, let's really run with this fast. So I was happy to see that he was excited. I was excited. I couldn't hardly sleep for about 2 days, knowing there was something like that that could help people actually, and to change their life, both financially and health. So with that, I looked at it and just started spreading the word. I'm going on 10 days with the company. And like you said, Dave, I should be director before the month is over, and hopefully executive director. I love the opportunity. I'm glad to be a part of this family, and I look forward to being successful and be able to help many other people too as well.
That's what it's all about. Thank you. We're so grateful for you. You're such a blessing to the team and to the company, and to people we don't even know yet that aren't even in the company yet that will be because of you guys. So thank you so much. Grateful that you showed up and that you were open. And it is timing. It is totally timing. And it's non-comparison as well, you guys. Your timing is your timing. And it's not about comparing to anybody else. It's about doing your personal best. And I'm sure Jerry teaches that all the time, with martial artists. We could look at people as an example and something to reach towards, people who are doing greater things than we are and things that we're passionate about. But it's about looking at them and being inspired and pushing us to push ourselves further. And that's what examples are, but not out of comparison in a belittling way to ourselves. And sometimes that takes people out. So we want to make sure that we're clear on, the testimonies that are shared, accomplishing what they're doing is an inspiration. It should be an inspiration to us. And what that would do is cause me to dig a little deeper, do a little more than I've been doing because of that example, and not be frustrated by it. Just realizing that I need to up my game. If I want to accomplish those things, then I need to be doing what those people are doing, just like Kathy Coover said. And that's what I did. I watched the people who were successful. I didn't watch the people and have conversations with the ones that were upset and complaining. I was having conversations and watching the people who were having success and then modeling them. Did somebody say something? No? Okay. So just real quick, I just want to go into just the problem and the solutions. This is the problem, their solution. Okay, here, let's move. No, I'm just kidding. This is the solution right here to everything. It's going to support the foundation of every cell on a DNA level, the stuff that's in your chromosomes. And the protector and the guardian of the DNA is the telomere. And the isogenesis, this product right here, is what supports that telomere in an unprecedented way. It's supporting that telomere in the body to heal itself in an unprecedented way. And that is creating the results that have never happened before. So where people are dealing with symptoms of aging and degenerative issues, that's a telomere issue. And the DNA is damaging. But if we can just get the body to repair, to restore and repair at the core level, then we would see those challenges disappear. And we know there's always a solution for something. There's always an equal and greater opportunity to everything. And Bill Andrews believed that aging and disease is literally that can be cured. Aging is a disease and that it can be cured. And that we could literally get the body to repair itself by supporting it. And he's the leading researcher in that on the entire planet. So it's called isogenesis. That's this product right here. And you take 2 pills in the morning, like Jerry was saying, 2 pills twice a day. And then the food is a problem. And I know that this was a big crusade that Jerry was on. And so many of us, JoJo was on it. And people who have watched any 1 or 2 documentaries, you wonder what the heck are we doing to ourselves when it comes to nutrition. But I would say 99% of people out there haven't watched the documentaries. Either they don't want to know, or they don't understand, or they're just not even aware of it. But our food is the problem today. Even produce, even organic produce. Organic produce isn't as big a problem as non-organic and processed food, but it's still a problem because it still has the pesticides. It still has the lack of adequate amount of minerals. So this is the solution right here, this shake. It has everything your body needs and even more. It totally can handle getting you to homeostasis, but it has way more than that packed into it. And the company keeps evolving and getting better and better, you know, so that can, replacing one meal change your life? Absolutely, if it's this meal right here. So the problem today is we're not supporting our telomeres to repair and restore damaged DNA. And now we can support the body on a DNA level. That's this bottle right here. And when it comes to food, it doesn't matter if you're juicing, if you're eating healthy, it still falls short. But most people will not do that. I've discovered that for myself with other people, and so has Jerry. And so many of you, people will not juice. They're not going to eat healthy and sustain that as a lifestyle. Well, we made it delicious and even better, because this has more than what you can get out of juicing. You could make food better. The technology's there and the genius is there to be able to do that. And you have a company that's committed to quality and continually getting better, striving for more. Grateful, but never satisfied. And so who do you know that has cells? Who do you know that eats? We have a solution for them on a very profound level. And it's not under trial, clinically and observationally. So, you know, this is the foundation of how we introduce people to the world of isogenics, which is your own health food store, which has a lot more products than these. And the more you add, the better it gets. And Jojo and Dr. Dunsky, anybody, you know, Willie, Carrie, anybody want to add anything to that? I want to go into the numbers now. Our Saturday training is typically to go into the numbers and the business training. But anything anybody want to add before I do that?
Well, you know, I'd add quickly, because we're transitioning over to the business side. I mean, you know, obviously, if there's a guest here presently, you just heard from Kathy Coover, just an incredible woman, incredible person, incredible entrepreneur who's got a heart, you know, to help people. And they've spearheaded a, you know, multi-billion-dollar organization that's been around for 18 years. So it has a trail of success. And you know, I've been in business for myself for about 16 years now. And so I was looking for a vehicle that I could plant my flag on and confidently know that it was going to be here, you know, long term, you know. And Dave and Kathy and all the leaders use, you know, they say legacy company, and I understood what that was. Like I want, you know, Jerry just talked about, you know, Jerry Fontanez the fourth, you know, and I have a William Morris the third, you know, and he's 6 years old, and I'd like to meet William Morris the fourth, you know, and so, you know, we were looking, and the simplicity of the Forever Pack. This is all I want to say. The simplicity of the Forever Pack. And, you know, you may have said to me initially, Dave, you know anybody who has cells in their body? You know, I was like, I think they do. You know, I think everybody does. And then, you know, do they plan on eating in the next 30 days? And I understood that the stuff that they were eating was part of the problem. And then you explained how replacing one meal a day. And we've had experiences. It just made sense. It was a no-brainer to me. And the company said, you know, we'll even offer a 100% money-back guarantee. I said, it's a no-brainer, you know. And so I understood that the fork and the knife was causing the problem, and I needed something. I couldn't, just hitting 50 years old, passing the 50-year mark, you know, people around me were saying, oh, it's all downhill. And I felt it. You know, so I started to believe it until I got these two products into my body. And then it was like, oh, you know, this is the problem. And we do have a solution, and the body is the miracle and has the capacity to heal itself. And guess what? I'm on an uphill swing at 50. I'm physically stronger than I've ever been in my entire life. And it's freaking awesome. And my wife looks more amazing than she's ever looked in her entire life. And I'm grateful, you know, and our kids are more healthier, you know, than they've ever been. And you know, we're grateful. And we decided, you know what, we have a moral obligation to share this with other people. And so we just, you know, we just went and we shared it with people quickly, and we told them there's no monetary risk. If you're not happy, you don't like the flavor, whatever, the company, will accommodate you for sure. Give you your money back or change the flavor. You've got to get this into your system. You owe it to yourself. And so when they started talking about people could eat for free, just by, starting to share it with 2 people, it's like, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. I know JoJo's not waving to me. She's waving to Dr. Dunsky's child. I'm like, what are you waving at? But I just, so it made perfect sense, Dave, that people, we can help people improve their health, and then all of a sudden, quickly, I told you, I said, Dave, I just realized a person cannot lose at all with the Forever Pack. There is no losing. There's only gain, right? There's no risk, really, and there's just gain. So it's just an absolute no-brainer. And then, when you're going to see the numbers, if somebody right here, if you're a guest and you're looking at this for the first time or the 10th time, whatever it took, right? And we obviously learned as a society that having a side gig, a plan B, extra income, is a smart thing to do, then you might want to pay close attention to what Dave MacArthur is about to show you, because we can help you. I like this. Susan Sly said, what if I can show you how to eliminate a bill? The bill that you can't stand paying every month. Would you be open to learn how we can show you to do that? So stick around if you'd be interested in eliminating a bill once a month. If right now, currently you're home, or you've been home and maybe you've been forced to go back to work and you'd like to stay home, stick around, because we're going to show you how others have done that as well. So we're so excited about the future because it's absolutely bright, because of what Jim and Kathy Coover have put together and what so many of us are living. And the timing could not be right as far as the economy is concerned. So, thank you for allowing me to, briefly share that with everybody.
The timing couldn't be better, right? Exactly. And it's proving to be that way. I mean, we're not just saying words flippantly. They're backed by results, experience, and what is truly happening. Anybody else want to add anything before I jump into this?
Dave, I'd like to add something here that I think would be quite valuable, if that's okay.
Yeah.
You ended on the last slide on the shake. And, for those of you that may be practitioners in any field, or if you're on here or you're looking to share this with a practitioner, one of the biggest challenges from their perspective is, how am I going to implement another program into my practice? We look at it as, oh my gosh, I can't possibly think of another program in here. And some practitioners will say, well, listen, nutrition wasn't my specialty, so how am I going to do that? And when you put that picture up there, Dave, it really came to mind to share this because I think it's great, very valuable. It is the simplest program to integrate in a busy practice, okay, let alone a slower one. And that's coming from someone who I used to implement other programs. So when we did coaching, we'd set up other clinics, and we still do this. So I'm looking and I'm talking to you with experience from other programs that we help, that we've helped other practitioners with, but also brought in ourselves. And when you talk about a shake and isogenesis, it couldn't get more simple. So what has a shake done? It's enabled us, I should say, to get the fundamental nutrients into the patient's mouths seamlessly and effortlessly. Where they're drinking a shake that's delicious, they're getting, there's so much science, which we're not going into today, Dave, but the science in that program to get that into a patient where they're compliant. This is part of what we didn't have before. We had other programs and they were not easy to use. So if you're a practitioner and you're looking at this and you're saying, I couldn't possibly do something else in here, talk to the person that invited you on here. Get with I'm happy to help anybody. There's other practitioners on here and other people that work with practitioners. JoJo's got, and Dave, a long history of helping doctors bring this into your environment where you will see very quickly, it is not what you think. It's really effortless to be able to step into this platform. So I don't want people to turn away and think I couldn't do this. And that's really what I wanted to share with you.
Yeah, because of what the shake is, it truly does simplify a person's life, doesn't it? Because it seems to reduce stress. It seems to produce the good brain chemistry. It seems to give you that energy, sustainable, that you need. It impacts your attitude and your mood. And so it really is the simplest, most profound thing to make your practice smoother.
And being a nutrient-dense meal, it's a really important thing right now to be able to have something delivered to your door as a secondary resource for food that comes safely packaged. You don't have to go out and get it. I mean, I know there's still a lot of places that are shut down and people don't necessarily want to go out right now. So this gives you an option to have this nutrient-dense meal dropped on your doorstep. And to have something that's really nutritious and it's not going to spoil in a week and it's simple and convenient and has all the nutrients that we need on top of everything else that we do to build immunity. It's a big thing right now. I mean, we're going to be opening I'm in Vegas, and our restaurants and our salons and our retail is opening up today. And so people are heading back out. So if they've been sitting home doing the knife and fork gonna kill you diet, like Jerry said, right? You're doing Netflix and chips, and that's been your diet for the last 6 weeks. Your immune system is not in the place to be able to go protect you as you go out there. And so it's a huge thing to prepare ourselves right now, right? So don't overlook that. Right.
Something we can't overstress. And we could verbally bomb it. We could give a lot of information that just starts to sound like Charlie Brown's school teacher. But it is because we're so passionate. I guess we could just sum it up with, how many of you had made that secondary source your primary source? Raise your hand, those of you that are on a video. If your Isogenics is your primary source of food, raise your hand. Now, how many years has it been your primary source? So I'd have to go like this and then bring up a foot. 15 years for me, yeah. I mean, that really says something, right, Sherry? And you guys, yeah, that says something. I remember watching my mom growing up. She had this little canister of shake that was above the fridge, and she grabbed it every day, and she made her shake with that fridge. I think it was Shackley or something like that. And, people know they need better nutrition. But the thing is, it's got to taste good for people. And it's got to be convenient, and it's got to be cost effective. And it is with ours. We're leading the way with that. We're an $8 billion company that has created 320 millionaires out of that food, out of Isogenics food. And what you may find, and I'll just give you a little exposure for the new people. My hardest decision is, what am I going to eat when I'm not eating Isogenics now? And typically, there's 2 shakes a day for sure, sometimes 3. Sometimes 3. I can indulge, I can eat whatever I want. I just choose to do that because my body's alkaline and that's what it's craving. And a lot of times I don't feel like eating anything else. My grandkids are the same way. So it says a lot. So that's just a little exposure, but we like to get people started with just 1 shake. Make it simple and easy. Okay, so back to this here. Let's jump into this. I'm gonna go into how you cycle, and I'm gonna explain that on this first slide, which I haven't explained in a while, the BV that we're getting. So everybody starts out as a customer. Our pack is, I believe it's like $164. And it's about what we call 103 BV. So those are 2 different distinctions. It's $164, which is half the cost of a Burger King meal a day. So Burger King is like $10.50. Our meal, just the meal, comes out to $2.85. With the whole system that you're going to do every day, 2 pills twice a day and a shake every morning, it's $5.50. So it's $164. The Burger King meal over a month is like $350 something, $360 something. And so huge savings doing this program over a Burger King meal, and you have the principle of health in it. Now, this is an important number. It stands for business volume. So you could either use BV or PV. BV and PV mean the same thing, 103 in business volume or 103 in personal volume, okay? Synonymous. Now, this is an important number because it's a qualified order. We call it a qualified order. qualified order is actually less. So let's call this the Forever Pack. I love seeing that on the background, Forever Fast Feet. Forever Pack, because it's something that's a lifestyle. You need to be feeding your body these nutrients. They're essential. And you're getting even more than the essentials. So it's more like a superfood, but it is giving you the essentials where your produce isn't. So you need to be doing that every day. A qualified order is only 100 BV or PV. So it's actually, you're overqualified. You're overqualified, but they're still going to pay you even though you're overqualified. All right. So as a customer, there's no membership. There used to be a membership of $29. They redirected that $29 to people who want to actually start making money by sharing the products with others. So they saved the cost to the customer, which was a huge move for anybody that's sharing it, because a customer can get started with no extra startup cost. They're paying purely for the product, and they get a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Our company just did that. So again, they're always improving. They're always making it better. It's the company that keeps on giving, and then they figure out how to give more and in better ways. Good, better, best. Okay, so now this is a customer. If you start with AutoShip, I should say when you start with AutoShip, that's just a no-brainer. I don't even ask people anymore. It's just I set them up with AutoShip and they expect that. That means it's going to ship out to them automatically. You want to do it every 29 days. It'll let you choose how many days, from 1 to 60 days, I think. Choose 29, because that customer will be getting paid on their own volume while they're using the products. If they're on AutoShip and it goes out every 29 days, they get all of their own volume, okay? So it lets you set that up, and when you enroll them as a so make sure you're putting 29 days. That's a huge advantage for the customer. Huge advantage for the customer. It's putting money in their pocket and they don't even know it, okay? All right, so as a customer, they're gonna get the products at wholesale. That's the wholesale price. They can enroll other customers, but they're not gonna make money. They're going to get coupons as a customer. They'll get coupons for free product, okay, as a customer. If you want to earn money, residual passive income and bonuses, you have to go from a customer to an associate. And that's a personal decision. It's in your website that you get as a customer. It's in your account that you log into, and you push the button, say, I want to become an associate. At that time, you'll pay your $29 business fee. Jojo, how much did it cost you to open up your tanning salons?
About $300,000.
$300,000. Josh, how much have you put into the overhead of your businesses? You probably don't want me to ask you that question.
No.
Yeah.
A lot.
I bet you're close to a 7-figure easily.
Yes, easily.
Okay, so 29 bucks, you guys, and it expands your account, your website, and you can start making money with your enrollments. So what you want to do is you want to enroll 2 people right away, right? Once you hit associate, once you do that, it doesn't matter if it's your first month, your first week, your second month, your 6th month, there's a clock that starts ticking. The clock is ticking for a $120 bonus, upfront cash, okay? Once you hit that, until you hit that, the clock's not ticking. They give you 30 days to hit a bonus once you hit associate, okay? And that is sponsor 2 people. Sponsor 2 customers. Just get them on the Forever Pack, because that's a qualified order. And it's the most simple, most profound way to get them started. So they're just going to become a customer, and they're going to order the Forever Pack, and it's going to cost them $164. That's the tax and shipping. All right. Now, as an associate, you move to the next level, which is called a consultant. And if you do that in 30 days from when you click that button, you get $120 cash. And we pay weekly, okay? So they'll pay that to you. As soon as they realize they need to pay you, they'll set up the paperwork and then it comes right to you on a little debit card. They pay you every week on a little debit card. It just loads the money on there. So $120 bonus for doing that. And that's enrolling one person on your left and the second person on your right. And you personally enrolled them. PE stands for not physical education, which was my favorite class, stands for personally enrolled, okay? And they have a qualified order because you started them with the Forever Pack. That's it. Now, what this does is it sets you up to make residual income, okay? So there's 3 things that are gonna happen that literally could make you a millionaire. We have 320 of them now, okay? So they're gonna pay you as a consultant 6% on the BV of every product that's ordered in your entire organization. So there's a running calculating BV that automatically happens in your website. You go in and you go you go to team tab and then you go to view my downline and it's gonna pull up a chart for you. And it shows you the BV that's coming through your left team. So we'll call it a left bank and a right bank. And since these 2 people just ordered a Forever Pack, we know that's 103 BV, you get 100% of all the BV of every product. So you would have 103 BV from that person's order and 103 BV in that person's order. So whatever team orders products, the BV goes into your bank. The way they pay you is when you get 600 in BV in one of the banks and 300 in BV in the other bank, the second bank. So whichever one hits 600 first, it's going to take the 600 from there. So the 600 will always come from the bank that has it. So we'll just call it the first bank. 600 will come from the first bank that has it first. That is very, very, very powerful. You may not understand that, but thank Jim and Kathy Coover in your prayers tonight for doing that. 600 will rotate to the side that gets to 600 first. So 600 always comes from the first bank. Well, is that the left bank or the right bank? I don't know. You don't know until it happens. It could be your right bank, could be your left bank. And it could switch multiple times a day, a week. It's always going to take advantage of the team that is ordering the most amount of volume, all right? So look at this as a system of distribution. That's all it is. You have a left distribution team and a right distribution team. However, there's no warehousing by any one of us. The company is doing the warehousing. Nobody's warehousing any products. Why? Because you don't have to sell any. You're already qualified with your own order of a Forever Pack. Very powerful. Again, in your prayers tonight, thank Jim and Kathy Coover. She made the fastest money and the most money the fastest in a binary in her networking experience. But there were some negatives to it. She removed the negatives. Her and Jim Coover removed the negatives of the binary. One of them is that you're qualified with a minimal order of 100 BV. That qualifies you. Second, you only have to sponsor 2 people, customers, whatever they are. Could be your spouse, could be one of your kids, your siblings. 2 people that you sponsored that will order a qualified order every month. As long as you maintain that right there, you get paid 6% on every product ordered in each distribution team. Off of every person, every product, every time. Right? So it's a distribution system, but you don't have any warehousing. There's no warehouse that you're doing. So that means there's no overhead. Paul Zane Pilzer calls it intellectual distribution. You're just sharing some information with people. They say yes, you set up the account, the company is going to ship it to them. They're the ones that warehouse the product, and they're shipping it to them. So that's why our overhead is so low. What was it? $29. You don't have to have all this upfront money to distribute products. The company's taking all that cost. They're absorbing it. What a blessing. So many reasons to be grateful in your prayers tonight. So 300 and 600, that's a total of 900 BV, which is the 6%, which pays you $54 every time that happens. Every time it happens. So if we look at this slide right here, we have a total of 16 people. This is figured out at 103 BV, which is what the Forever Pack is. So you have 16, 8, 4, 2, and yourself. So that's a total of 31 people ordering the Forever Pack. If it grew where it grew even on both sides, so these two people enrolled there too, one on the left, one on the right, just like that, and this person did the same. Now you have 3 people over here and 3 people over here, okay? So if that just continued, that 6% would be $200. That's how many times you would hit that 900. So that would be like, just over 4 times. 4 cycles, right? Am I right on that? That would be 4 cycles, which is 900 BV 4 times, paying you $54 each time. So times 4. That's what this would calculate. It's just math, you guys. And when you understand that these are real people looking for real solutions, these are real products that are providing them with satisfactory solutions, so they keep ordering it. That's what makes the world economic, is products that provide solutions for people and they keep buying them. Everybody does that. That's in business. So that's what we're doing here. So this is just math. I'm taking the 6% for that pack. So if we only went 1, 2, 3, 4 levels down, you'd be making $200 passive residual income every month. And remember, this pack's only $164, which you were already paying. So that's extra money in your pocket. That's an extra $200 in your pocket because they're paying you that, and you are already paying this for your groceries. More than likely more for your Burger King meal, right? $300 and something. So this is extra money. How many of you can use an extra $200 a month? This changed our lives right here. That's how much I was making on a paper route. So if we just shared it with 3 people, I'm in control of how many people I talk to. I could enroll 3 people, and they could enroll 3 people, and they could enroll 3 people, and they could enroll 3 people. Now you have 121 people. That replaced my paper route. I think it's $600 a month on my paper route. That was work, you guys. I didn't do it because I loved it. It's because I needed the money desperately. So desperate that I woke up at 4:30, 7 days a week, and spent 2 hours delivering newspapers from 4:30 to about 6:30. This replaced that. And the company was shipping them the product. I wasn't working for it anymore. The auto ships were doing the work, and so was the leverage, and so was the 6%. I wasn't working for that money anymore. Compare that to working on a paper route 4:30 every morning. I couldn't go to Thanksgiving at families' houses because they lived too far away. I had to deliver newspapers the next morning. This $784 changed our lives profoundly. This one right here retired me as a mechanic. We're still doing the same thing. I'm not working for this money. Why? It's the leverage, it's the auto ships, and it's the 6% because of this right here, what I was showing you here. All of that right here. The 300 and 600 is being generated. I know it's a little bit hard to comprehend and understand, but this is that 300 and 600. It's just hitting 300 and 600 that many times. So I'm hitting the 900. I don't know, at that, it's like seven times. On this one right here, that would be hitting the 900 like 20 times in a month. This one right here would be over $5,000 a month. And that's hitting the 900 100 times a month. Now, what if that was a week? What if it was 100? Jojo, you hit 100 cycles a week, making $5,000 a week. Why? Because of the self-perpetuation. Good things get out there. You can't keep good things secluded just to yourself, all right? So now the company helps you to facilitate that. Is there any questions or anybody want to say anything right here? Or anybody have any questions about the 300, 600? As these people are enrolling, your volume is going up in your banks. Every time you hit 600 on one side, 300 on the other, you get 54 bucks. Any comments? Any questions? Anybody saying anything in the chat, Jojo? They will pay you that on unlimited levels. Just think of Jerry on his crusade talking to people about, committing suicide with a knife and fork, them actually saying yes, and they stayed on that program. Everybody he's ever talked to about it, everybody he's ever talked to, they said yes, and they stayed on the program. Imagine what his residual income would be right now, right here. How many times would he be cycling if everybody he's talked to said yes? And everybody they talked to said yes, and everybody they talked to said yes for the rest of his life. That's what we have here. That's literally what we have. That's why I know Jerry's going to go on to become a millionaire in isogenics. He was already doing this. He just wasn't doing it. He's taking it to the next level, what he's been doing. Unlimited levels. And they pay weekly. So we get paid weekly. And then there's bonuses on top of this. So this right here is $120. The next one, they want you to facilitate this. So this is teaching you how to facilitate it. The next one is manager. This is another $450 for helping these two people to get their 120. So actually, let me erase this. They get their 120, and you made a total of 570 now. And you've added 4 people to your organization. And Jerry, I was just saying, imagine everybody you've ever shared with nutrition, if they all said yes, and they were still doing it, everybody you've ever talked about eating, committing suicide with a knife and fork, and they stayed on the products, and you were getting a passive residual income from everybody you've ever talked to, and they all said yes, how much would you be making right now if you're getting 6% like this? Passive residual income for the rest of your life. And I love about what Jimmy Smith says, if you just took this one right here to the 13th level, it's $54,000 a month in isogenics. And if you failed 90% of the time, you failed. Only 10% said yes, you'd still be making over $8K a month. You'd still be making over $8,000 a month if 90% said no and only 10% said yes by the 13th level. And that just doesn't happen in isogenics. 90% don't quit. So $54,000 a month on this one right here, the power of 2. Imagine how fast you'd get to the 54,000 a month at the power of 5, or the power of 3, or the power of 6. Everybody just did that. That's 6. The next generation, that's 6 more. You guys, it's off the charts if you follow this program right here. You follow this program, you can hit that 13th level if you treat people right, you train them, you educate them, and you inspire them. You can hit that 13th level so fast. The fastest is 14 months. The fastest is 14 months. All right, so this is called manager right here. Now remember, you're getting that would, so if they all ordered 103, that'd be 309 BV in this side, 309 BV on this side. And guess what? You get your own BV as well. It'll throw it to whichever side you need it the most. So in this case, let's just say you ordered 103 BV. That would take that to 412. So you have 412. Look, you're about ready to cycle right there, on top of making your $570. That's what Kathy was talking about. It takes a little time to build the infrastructure of products moving and auto ships building that wealth off of the 6%. But in the meantime, they're going to pay us. And you go into a bonus pool right here. Right here, you go into a small bonus pool that they didn't used to pay us. All right, so the next move is director. So here's consultant, manager, and this is director. So you've enrolled 1, 2, now you've enrolled number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. You've already cycled by now. Look at all the volume, the BV that's being created off of this. You've cycled a couple times here. And Willie, when I asked you at the end of the month, you started with the Forever Pack. I said, how much would you say you've ordered at the end of the month? By the end of the month, how much more would you say you've ordered? Did you just order another Forever Pack?
No, without even thinking about it, I realized we more than quadrupled what we, the initial orders.
So if this was Willie, he quadrupled his BV, which would have flowed right up to you. That's a pay raise. When people expand their pantry, it's a pay raise. That's a pay raise. You work with somebody in your organization that you didn't enroll, and they enroll somebody, that's a pay raise. Who's in control of the pay raises now? That's what got me excited, because I was a hard worker. I was a hard worker. I gave excellence in everything I did, and I wanted to add value. I knew it was a done deal, because that was already built into me. And now I'm in control of my pay raises. I worked so hard, I was making too much on commissions in the mechanic shop at the dealership. They lowered my commissions. They said, they're paying me too much. I said, you try to follow me around for a day. I said this right to the general manager's face. I said, you try to follow me around for a day. I bet you couldn't do it. I was pissed. I had a sore neck because I was so stressed out at how hard I was working. They didn't care. They said, that doesn't matter. Service advisors shouldn't make that much. I wasn't in control of my pay raise. My destiny financially was in somebody else's hands. I realized with this, my destiny was in my own hands. And that's why I accomplished what I did. It wasn't luck. It was numbers and working the system and being like Kathy, figuring out how to do it, being coachable. So you enroll 4 more people, help them to get to consultant. That's another $1,100 bonus. Plus your $450 you made here, plus your $120 you made there. And your cycles. Remember, what is a cycle? That's the 600 and 300. We call it a cycle. You're getting cycles now. And all of these people are on auto ship. So what does that mean the next month around? It means whoever else is joining your company, your organization next month is going to compound with the people whose auto ships are going to go out. You got another pay raise. I'm getting paid from people that were enrolled in my group 15 years ago that I did not enroll, because that's the generosity of the company. If you don't quit and you just keep doing it consistently and you get better and better, you have to make millions. You have to. The numbers, you couldn't prevent it. And the disclaimer is you're consistent and you're working and you get better and better. there's no chance to this. All right, so there's a bonus. That's called a director, which Dr. J in 2 weeks is about to hit. Angela hit it, I think, what, in less than 2 months, like 8 weeks? Angela hit executive in 10 weeks, which is the next one. There's a bonus pool here. It's a bigger bonus pool, of course. You have a bonus pool here. This is a bigger bonus pool. And then the last and final step, as far as the getting in the bonus pools and getting these, oh, and you get 4 months to do this. This right here is 2 months. This is 1 month. Okay, once you click associate. The next one is executive. So you have consultant, manager, director, executive. This is the executive. And you make another $1,400 here. In bonuses, let me, if I just put auto ship on every, I'm not going to, but if I put auto ship on every single one of those, there's your 300 and 600. Now, what if their BV goes up? What if they quadruple their BV? You're going to get here faster. Every time somebody adds more products to their order, it's just a matter of time before Jerry's doing 2 to 3 shakes a day and getting on the AMP athletic line. Take nitro before workout, you'll be doing 200 kicks. No question. That stuff makes me, I have to discipline myself not to go as hard as my body's telling me to go. And it's healthy. It's not that garbage that tears the body down and destroys the body. So, all right, auto ships are going to keep going out. Their BV is going to go up. They're going to be sharing it with more and more people. And you don't have to stop at, okay, so now you personally enrolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the right. And you have to position them that way for executive. Guess what? There's a bonus pool for that. And it's $750 for the first month, $750 for the second month, $1,000 for the third month. And then it just starts over at $750 the next month, $750 again, and then $1,000. It's about $10,000 a year by maintaining executive. Everybody has to have a qualified order. So there's some stipulations here. Every person is ordering qualified order every 30 days. What's a qualified order? How much BV? We don't even have to say BV, we can say Forever Pack, but it's 100 BV, Forever Pack's 103. There's so many dynamics that are positives and win-wins about the Forever Pack with this compensation plan and with people's health, with their lives. All right? So you don't have to stop at 5. You can enroll person number 6, person number 7, person number 8, person number 9. But to maintain executive, you've always got to have at least 5 on the left, 5 on the right that are qualified. So each one of these are what we would call consultants. So that's really having 10 consultants. 5 on the left, 5 on the right. And you're a consultant yourself. Now that also gets you a 10% check matching bonus on all your personally enrolled. Every person you enrolled, whatever they get paid on the 6%, so the 300 and 600, everybody you personally enrolled, whatever they make off of their cycles that week, the company matches that and pays it to you on everybody you've enrolled. Carl Lamar, because he personally enrolled me and he's an executive, is like at $100,000 a year off of this check matching bonus. That's only for executives. on top of the executive monthly bonus, on top of the 6%. Wow. All right, so these bonuses you could replace. I know Angela did. She made more money in like 8 weeks than she made in 2 months of her underpaid job, like I was getting underpaid as a service advisor. You can make some big money here, and as you keep the gas pedal down and keep changing people's lives and helping them to change people's lives, your 6% is going up. But you maintain executive, that's 10 grand a year. That's half of what most people in this country make a year. Most people are around 20,000 a year. That bonus right there would make you half of that, about 10,000 a year, 10,000 a year. Add the 6% and these other bonuses, game on, you guys. All from just ordering that pack right there. So we have this chart that you can print out and use as your goal sheet. In the dates, I put now. I am an executive. I am a consultant. I am a manager. I am a director. I am an executive. And get into action. Get the mindset right. You're already there. Hold that and go out and share. And you can write in people's names. I remember using this. I would write people's names over here because I had more than 5 and they all weren't going to consultant. But I wrote down everybody's name and I ran out of room for the 5 boxes of my personally enrolled. So I'd write people over in the columns. And then I would just keep following up with them, inviting them to take a look, educating and inspiring them to take action, to move their life forward. Never been easier with the tools, the technology, and the Forever Pack. It's never been easier, you guys. And so with that, anybody want to add anything else? And we'll call it morning. We're also, just by way of announcement, we're going to do a presentation, right, Willie? At 1 o'clock Mountain. That would be 12 o'clock Pacific time. I'm gonna.
Yes. I just posted it in the Forever Pack business.
Right.
Yeah. But if anybody wants the
we'll do a Forever Pack presentation today. Are we doing one tomorrow as well?
No, we're not gonna do anything live tomorrow.
Okay.
But you do have that record-breaking 27-minute overview with testimonies and the compensation plan. So,
Okay. Anybody
I'll
want
give
to add
the
anything?
ID. Yeah, I'll give the ID, Dave, real quick. So what is it? I guess in 2 hours. The ID will be 924-488-1847.
Is that the same as our regular Monday night one?
No, this is actually your personal one.
Okay.
We
my
were gonna
personal ID.
we were gonna keep it private.
Okay, so we're opening that up now.
Yeah,
Jerry
Jerry.
are running fast, and so they wanted to include you. They said the more the merrier. That birds of a feather flock together, you guys. I mean, truly, this is a culture where everybody wants to help everybody else and add value.
Yeah,
Jerry. Right, so you're welcome to be on. Bring your guest on, and we'll just be going through the Forever Pack we're going to be going through the amazing Forever Pack presentation.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, and
Thank
the password. Somebody asked. I'm sorry. The password is 2020 also.
But it's not making you ask for a password anymore, right? I don't think you guys had to put a password in this morning.
Some people have the link that doesn't need the password. I personally prefer to send the password to guests. And I put the words VIP because that's, I just, it's significant. I'm not sending this link out to just anybody. There is a password. So, whatever, everybody to each his own. But there is a link out there. I'm not sure without the password, but it's 2020, is the password.
There's still Zoom bombers coming in, so it's good to keep the password for now.
I'm in total agreement with that as well. Yeah.
Well, I'm psyched for whatever it's worth. I don't know if it's because I'm cold or I'm just motivated because it got a little cold here today. But, man, I just got off the phone with a friend of mine, Joey Amos, who just a few days ago, and he just signed up his wife of all people. That's a rough one. Guy's a famous international DJ. She's an incredible dancer too. But he just told me, and I'm gonna say it in the words from how he said it, bro, I just finished doing my lay down kicks. I said, you did what? I just did my lay down kicks. I haven't been motivated to do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. He's a very reserved guy. And to have him out of character like that gets me so, it warms up my heart, because I know that the hips are a challenge, guys, right? So if you have the muscles around your hips, get the circulation you need, then you won't have a hip problem. Same thing with the knees and posture and so on and so forth. I mean, that's what I believe. So I do like physical therapy, but not that I do it. You lay in your bed, we do these exercises. I'll share the videos, like I said.
You're going to have to do some lives for us on Facebook.
Yeah, but the whole thing about it is that
Kathy's all, yeah.
Everybody that I know in martial arts, quite a lot of people, I used to joke around, well, not really a joke. I would say if there was a class action suit against people who learn exercises that hurt their knees, backs, and hips, there would be a lot of money going back to these Asians hundreds of years ago. I don't do that. I don't stretch like other people stretch, because when I did it, I got injured. I'm like, I don't want to have a hip replacement. I don't want to have a bad knee. I don't want to have a bad back. So it's all based on alignment, right? I mean, I didn't invent this. I just follow what works. So when someone got injured and they gave them physical therapy, I said, oh, let me learn that. I figure if I did the physical therapy as the exercise, I wouldn't get hurt. You know, I'm into prevention, not therapeutic. Forget this, man. I'm trying to not get injured yet. And it worked out really well. And yes, the last word is flexibility. Flexibility is key. You know, so the focus is when I do a breathing protocol, very simple. The food, obviously, this includes the food. Fitness is so many options. But a lot of people don't realize that age-specific exercises are very important. When you're trying to train like you're in your 20s and 30s, because your ego says, I feel like it, you better be patient, or you're gonna become a patient. You will get injured. There's nothing wrong. That's the worst. The worst thing is to get hyped up and then get injured. I don't want that at 54, because it takes so much longer to recuperate. So being patient, having your posture, your parents told you get your shoulders back, make sure, you know, all that. They were right. They were right. They were right. So anyway, I'm excited because now I know that a lot of other people will get a chance to start walking in less pain, walking in less, sleeping with less pain. So many people are in massive pain, and I can see it in their face. They cringe and they keep that poker face on, but they're in pain. So we get a chance to help them from the inside out. Now to expedite it, I do a breathing protocol. You can look them up. The Iceman, Wim Hof. You hold, you know, you do 30 breaths, then you hold your breath. On average, I'm holding my breath about 3 minutes, which sounds insane, but it's more than possible. But when you do that, you're increasing the alkalinity in your body and your blood too, has been proven scientifically. Again, this is something that's easy to do, but most of my friends won't do it. They'll drink, they'll take the pills, but they won't do that. And then if you ever heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza, I mean, this guy is phenomenal. He's talking about the mind-body connection and understanding how you can get your pineal gland to the next level, but people won't do it. They won't do it, which is fine. Then you have Dr. Sebi, who healed people with his electronic food for electronic body. So those are 3 protocols.
Oh, we just lost. Did you guys lose Jerry too?
Yeah, he might have froze or.
Yes, Parkinson's.
Oh, there it goes.
Parkinson's is the brain's inability to create dopamine. These 3 protocols that I mentioned can help that. But you know what? This can too, because your body gets nervous. So now I have 4 ways to help people live longer and not making it difficult. So I think they'll start with this, and then they'll start doing some exercises. Before you know, I'll get them breathing, and then they'll do the 4 different things to have their fast feet forever. And that, by the way, that logo there is my kick going straight up, which I'll duplicate that in the next few weeks. I'll do it again, so like that people can see it's more than possible. You know, so it's not age, it's ability. And your ability could be horrible at any age. I'm 54 years young now, but I was 45 years old. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, enough. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. That's right, Kathy? Age is just a number. All right, you guys. thanks for joining today. Thanks, Dr. Dunsky. Thanks, JoJo, Willie, Carrie. I think she's checked out. And everybody who's contributed, Dr. J, and just all of you. Love our community. You guys have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday night.
Thanks, Dave.
Or this afternoon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody. God bless you
Willie.
guys.
Thanks, Willie.